Sup? It's me in a black shirt again. But anyway, I wanted to share another project I was doing, just making acoustic panels, mainly for the media room that I have. We kind of have like a theater room, basically, with projector and stuff. I made these two panels here with basic, just sort of insulation you'd put in a house. R15, so it's 3.5 inch thickness, 93 inches long, and 15 inches wide. So I made these frames that are basically 31.5 inches wide by 4 feet. So I was actually going to put together a video on putting these together, but honestly it's just a simple box, and then I cut the insulation in half, and now there's two pieces in each individual box. So you can see two separate boxes, two pieces of insulation, and then what I'm going to plan on doing with these is just wrapping them in fabric. And then this this box is actually a 1x4, so it's actually the same exact width as this insulation, since a 1x4 is actually 3.5 inches. And then just pocket joined together to make a box. So for these acoustic panels, just in the basement here, I ended up using this spray adhesive by 3M, just picked up at Home Depot, and sprayed the outside of this insulation all the way around, as well as the middle, since these are two pieces on both of these frames. I just have this flipped up so I can walk around it, but I'm hoping this will help adhere it together and make it stay in the frame, and then I'll wrap the frame in the fabric. I don't know if I'll end up putting in some like cross beams so that these don't fall inward. I don't know if it'll actually happen or not once they're stuck together and the fabric is wrapped around, but we'll have to see. So I ended up going to Home Depot and getting some 1x4s. I'm going to put two on each panel just so it doesn't sag in the middle, so when I pull the fabric over it'll be a nice and clean flat surface for the appearance. Alright, so I came out to the garage, I got these pieces to fit in the middle, all with the Craig jig joints, and I got a bunch of screws to screw in there, and the right angle clamp. So let's go clamp these in the middle of those boxes. So I just took one of these and just kind of went along and pushed it down so that it kind of compressed a little bit, and then I got this right angle clamp here, and I'm going to just put it a tiny bit below the side so that it won't stick out when we wrap it in the fabric. Alright, so we got one done, just so it helps adhere it behind here. And then this will be the top. Hopefully I just wrap this in fabric though. It might just puff out a little from the top, but that's fine. Not going to see it because it's going to hang on the ceiling. Or if you hung it on a wall, you wouldn't even see it in the back. So, alright, so we got both of them done. This one's on the other side. Going to take it upstairs, put fabric on it. I also just weighed them with this luggage weigher, and it weighs about 13.3 pounds each. 3.5 inches of insulation and a bunch of 1x4. So I got it upstairs, I laid out the fabric, laid the facing piece, which will actually be on the ceiling with the fabric, down, and then I'll wrap this around and use a staple gun right over there, go around the edges, make sure it's taut so the front face is no wrinkles. Alright, they're both done. Now to figure out how to put it on the ceiling. So I was having trouble finding a good mounting situation. I was going to hang one of these picture hangers from the ceiling and put them into a drywall anchor, and which holds up to like 22 pounds. And then I also was having trouble finding how I could connect this to one of these, and I was going to use this galvanized steel wire, but then I just couldn't figure out how to connect that steel wire to this frame. And then I remembered that I had these like zip ties for running cables on the wall, so I actually ended up attaching this to the frame, and that way I can just zip tie right to the hooks, which is super easy. It makes me feel way better about having a screw instead of just like stapling something to this. As far as the back goes, I ended up just folding in these corners and stapling, pulling from each side so that it would just be kind of like taut. I have nothing to staple it in the middle here, but if it's going to be up in the ceiling, I'm not too worried about it. But if I have extra fabric, then maybe I'll go over the backs with that, or I can come back to it. Alright, I got one up. You can see the anchor and the screw in the anchor, and then a zip tie to the mount. And I'll go ahead and trim those extras, but it's kind of nice because you can actually adjust the length in this case, which is super handy. It's a little bit, you can't really tell with the blacks on this with my phone, but it's a little bit bumping out, but I don't think anybody's going to notice, honestly. Best you could probably do, other than using thinner piece of insulation, you can kind of see it right here. But anyway, that's it. And then I'll put the other one up right here. So I got the acoustic panels up, and they're both set. I think I'll probably have to go back and trim the fabric on top because you can kind of see it kind of up there, just kind of messing around. So probably go back up there and trim it. It's pretty great having the zip ties be adjustable for the height, and it'll be so much easier to get it back down if want to make any adjustments or trimming that fabric. So pretty happy with it.